Hey guys, I wanted to jump on here real quick and make a video for you today about just kind of this transition period between winter and springtime. Winter is the death of our year, and it really spring is the beginning of our year. So spring is the birth. It's a rebirth. It's the death from a wintertime into the rebirth of spring. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, is the baby of the zodiac. So I do know that there are a lot of people that are going through shit right now, despite what you're seeing on your Instagram, all the fake happy posts that they may be posting. There is a lot of people going through transition periods in their life right now and are experiencing tremendous amounts of change. This is kind of like an in-between period where things kind of slow down, and it's in that slow down of time in our lives where we have time to think. And a lot of people, they have spent so much time distracting themselves, the holidays and all this uproar of shit that has been coming from the end of their year, and all these plans and all this great stuff that they're working towards for their new year. And then the new year comes, and as those things kind of are at the peak in their life, they're all the fast movement and this great energy moving into the new year, it kind of slows down at this time, and it brings people a lot of confusion and a lot of exhaustion. And a lot of the times we feel like we're not doing enough because the energy has slowed down. And at this period of time, like, people are going through such crazy changes in their life. There are, relationships ending. There's a lot of realizations of self, right? Things that aren't working for us in our life are becoming very clear to us. And it can put us into such a deep sadness, into such a very painful period right now, right? And I do know a lot of people are experiencing this because I have quite a few friends, that are experiencing this type of energy. Even myself go through the ups and downs and the motions, right? And the thing is people ask me how to go through these periods. What is it? What can I do? Because at this point, sometimes this helplessness is like, where do I go from here? I don't feel good right now. And my answer to this, I've gone through so many ups and downs in my life, and what has made it easier for me now, what I've realized, is that I was always trying to run from that feeling. I was always trying to find a way to mask the feeling, or fill the feeling with something, or distract myself from the feeling of, really what I was feeling. That's what it comes down to. So in doing that, you're basically putting a band-aid on really what the problem is. And so my answer to this is to honor your feelings. And when I say honor your feelings, this is like major key, because there's been so much shame on feeling at all, right? For centuries and centuries, men have been told not to cry, man up, don't show emotion. And women have been, overly emotional, too emotional, to an extent where we feel crazy, even demonizing our periods, for example. Like, that's an emotional time. We should be allowed to be emotional, but it's been that we're demonized to feel like we can't feel, that people don't know how to balance themselves, right? They take it to the extremes. It's this shame on feeling at all. So if you can imagine our parents and their parents and parents before them, this idea of having no emotion, and everything is perfect, your life is perfect, look at Instagram, everything's perfect all the time, is very unhealthy, because that has created this sweep your feelings and sweep everything under the rug and pretend like everything's perfect when it's not. This idea of don't feel, or this shame that we've put on feeling and having emotion, has caused so many problems in our parents and in the generations before. All this alcoholism, addictions, just people aren't living healthy, balanced, peaceful lives because they haven't been able to express and release energy that they've had pent up inside of them for so many years. And it's almost like you're living a lie if you're not able to really feel and be that, feel and express how you're actually feeling. To hide that from the world, to hide that from anybody, has put people in such a dark place because they don't feel like they can tell people how they're actually feeling or express what they're going through. We don't have to go through this shit alone. We are all experiencing the same things, whether we want to believe it or not. Social media has really just kept that sweep everything under the rug and pretend like it's perfect thing going on for far too long. And it's this comparing our lives to others and seeing their lives perfect and us thinking, oh, I wish I was this and I wish I was that we put more shame on ourselves and feel even worse for what we're experiencing in our lives. And that's just not a healthy way to go about life. And it's not reality. It's not actually real at all. So when I say honor your feelings, what does honor your feelings mean? Well, honor your feelings means it is okay to feel. It is absolutely okay to feel. But what it is that you are not your feelings, right? You're not your feelings. They don't define who you are. Just because you're showing your vulnerability doesn't define who you are as a person. We are not our feelings. We are not our emotions, but they are a part of our journey. They're a part of our journey. So we have to honor ourselves at every part of our journey. It is okay to feel sad. It is okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel shame and guilt and all these things. It's okay to feel those things. They're not a part of you, but they're a part of your journey. And so you have to honor that exactly how you're feeling in every moment. And just know, like, when you honor it, it becomes easier for you to understand it and to let it go. It becomes easier for you to get over things and to move quickly through that energy. When you're able to see it from that perspective, it actually makes it easier for you to pass through the energy. So, for example, last night I was feeling sad. And I know that before, when I used to get into my depression, I would be so sad and I would feel that sadness so deep and I would just stay sad for like days, right? Now when I feel sad, I'm like, okay, sadness, I feel you. I'm going to feel you and I'm going to feel into you. It's almost like I'm speaking to the sadness, like it's not even, a part of me. It's that emotion is not attached to me and who I am, right? I'm going to feel right into that sadness. I'm going to feel it, fully feel it, and understand that it's not a part of me and it's going to pass. And it passes so much faster that way. I honor that I'm feeling that sadness. I'm allowed to feel sad. You're allowed to feel sad. You're allowed to feel angry. You're allowed to feel shame. You're allowed to feel all these things because you're allowed to feel. It is a normal thing. It's a normal part of life. You are not defined, again, you are not defined by how you feel and your emotions. You're not defined by that. You're defined by your character and the type of person you are. And you have to honor your journey at every step of the way, all the highs and the lows. I know it might not seem to make sense right now in your life where you're at. And trust me, I've been there where you just lose all hope and you just don't know what the fuck is going on. Everything has to fall apart for it to fall together. And what makes it easier is when you can control your emotions and you can honor where you're at in your journey, where you can just go with the flow of things instead of pushing against the grain and pushing against things and swimming against the current. We make things so much harder than it is, and it's because there's this shame on, not feeling and the shame on our lives have to be perfect and this and that. And reality is we all go through shit. So for those of you that are experiencing a lot of changes in your life right now, I've been there. I know what it's like to just not want to do it anymore. And I totally get it. But this death of winter into spring is a rebirth, and everything is going to make sense in the end. And you're going to be okay. I promise you that. If we can just be more comfortable being open about how we actually feel, we'll realize that there is, everybody really going through the same type of shit that we are, and that we're not any different than anybody else. I gotta add one more thing. So this was like 4 or 5 years ago. I went and saw an energy healer, and he told me about my whole life without me even opening my mouth. He really changed my life, I'm not gonna lie, in the most positive and amazing way ever. And everything he told me, I didn't even understand until I went through my spiritual awakening last year. But he said one thing to me, and it has stuck with me and has always stuck with me. He said to me, what you've gone through in your life was necessary. It is necessary for you to go through those hard times. It was necessary. And I really didn't understand what he meant until later. It is necessary for us to go through hard times, to go through depression, to go through pain and hurt and suffering. It is necessary for us because it makes us who we are. It makes us exactly who we're meant. It makes us exactly who we are meant to be in our own unique way. And it is necessary for us to feel that, for us to elevate in our own personal evolution, to become the best version of who we are. It is necessary to go through it. So I just wanted to say that last little bit for those of you out there experiencing that heartache, that pain, and that confusion. Anyone experiencing loss in their life right now, everything, it is necessary for us to experience. And I'm sending you so much love, and I hope you have an amazing day.